Hello, everybody. This is the Comedy Thief, and this is Funny Old Guys. We steal every single thing you're going to see and hear today. And beside me is my good buddy, Dr. Fatpacker. Say hello to everybody there, Docky.
Oh, that's me. Hello. How is everybody doing today? Nice to see you.
Do
Bill
your good,
Kirkman.
do your good friends call you Fat or Packer or Doc?
My good friends call me Doctor.
Okay. And below me, we have Homeless Charlie. Now, that's not his real hair, right? He said that keeps his ears warm in the wintertime. Homeless Charlie, say hello to our viewers.
Well, hello to our viewers.
Now, before we get started, we tell jokes, right, guys?
We
That,
hope.
that seems to be.
We tell funny jokes. At least we hope they're going to be funny. But anyway, a point of conversation for you two gentlemen here.
Yeah.
I want to know how fast you can think on your feet. What if somebody throws you a bomb and the fuse is lit and it's in your hands? Dr. Fatpacker, what on earth would you do?
Now, you know, if somebody throws me a bomb, I usually just ignore it and go on to the next joke.
That's it? Okay. Homeless Charlie, somebody throws you a bomb, the fuse is lighted, it's just moments away from exploding. What would you do?
Well, I was surprised. I thought you were a friend, so I just threw it back at you.
Oh. Well, you know what I would do?
I
What?
can hardly wait.
Well, there are choices. One, I would scream like a little girl. Number
Yeah.
two, I would crap my pants.
Oh,
And number three, I would start reciting Our Father, who art in heaven.
That's a lot,
Anyway,
that's a
you'll
lot
need,
to
you'll need to
do.
borrow the pirates' brown pants.
Dr. Fatpacker, it's your turn. Go for it.
Oh, very good. Thank you. Well, I heard two of the guys in the office talking, and they were just talking about marriage. And the one asked the other guy, he said, look it, you wouldn't marry a girl just for her money, would you? And the other guy says, well, no, but I wouldn't have the heart to let her die an old maid just because she had money either.
Well, there you go. I mean, you just
What a nice
It's
guy.
what
a
a nice
wonderful
person.
lad.
Yeah.
Wonderful
Yeah.
lad. Homeless Charlie.
Well, we had a good weekend here, or maybe a bad weekend with the football games because both our teams lost. But anyways, a few weeks ago, I watched an NFL football game, and they had a female referee, and she threw a flag, and the coach hollered, "What for?" And she replied, "Nothing. It's fine. I don't want to talk about it."
These female referees, that's like strange. Well, last year, I was down in Florida actually with Homeless Charlie. And I
Ah,
was on the beach one day and I saw this beautiful young lady in a bikini and I held her up to my ear. And you know what I heard?
What?
no.
Screaming. Screaming, I heard.
Yeah, there you are. Hey, no ocean there. Yeah.
Dr. Fatpacker.
Boy, I get another turn. I ordered an extension course called How to Deal with Life's Disappointments.
With what?
Yesterday, I got my first lesson in the mail. It was an empty envelope.
An empty envelope.
No, no.
Well, there you go. Homeless Charlie, go ahead.
Well, this is sort of strange, but a friend told me yesterday you don't really wash your hands.
Uh-huh.
They actually wash each other while you stand there and watch. And I haven't been the same since.
Oh my God, it's so confusing at our age.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't, yeah, it's weird.
I have two pieces of advice. One is never try to corner anything that's meaner than you are.
Yeah.
Number two, it's easier to let the cat out of the bag than it is to try to get the damn thing back in.
You're right.
Yeah.
So there. Dr. Fatpacker.
Well, I was out in my yard the other day doing some yard work, and my neighbors were out on their back porch, and I heard them quarreling with each other.
Oh.
And the husband yells at her, says, "When you die, I'm giving you a headstone that reads, 'Here lies my wife, cold as ever.'"
Oh.
And she looks back at him and says, "Oh, yeah? Well, when you die, I'm giving you a headstone that reads, 'Here lies my husband, stiff at last.'"
Stiff. Wait a minute. Can we
Oh,
say that on video?
I don't know.
I could say stiff.
We just did. Exactly. Homeless Charlie.
Well, I'll tell you, the other day, my friend and his wife, they went grocery shopping,
Yeah.
and he picked up a case of beer for $10. It was on sale. And
Wow.
his wife said, "No way, we can't afford that." And later on, she picked up a $20 jar of face cream. And the husband questions that. And she said, "Well, it made her look beautiful."
Oh.
And he said, "Well, so does 24 cans of beer and at half the price." That's when the fight started.
Yeah.
That's when the fight started.
Oh.
Well, I have some bad news.
Oh.
no.
Somebody got into my car and stole my radio. So I go to my insurance guy, and he says, "Well, yeah, you're covered. We'll reimburse you, and we'll write a check for the radio. What kind of a radio was it? What was the brand?" And I said, "I don't know. You know what? How would I know? Why do you want to know that?" He says, "Well, so I would know how much to pay you for the radio." And I said, "Well, wait a minute. I just remembered what kind of radio it was. It was a Rolex." Dr. Fatpacker.
Do they make
Oh
radio?
my goodness. Well,
Well, it was a clock radio. See,
Oh,
Oh, it's a clock radio. Okay, there you go.
go ahead.
Well, my nephew was telling me the other day that he had to write an essay of 250 words about a car. So he
Wait a
turned
minute,
to
hold it. About a what?
the car.
Okay.
Automobile.
Got it. I got it.
There you go. Now, so this is what he turned in. I won't read the whole thing to you. Well, I will. Let's pay attention. It says, "My uncle bought a car. He was riding in the country when it broke down on a hill. I guess this makes 25 words. The other 225 are what my uncle said when he was walking back to town, but they're not fit for publication."
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
That filled in that whole essay perfectly.
that's right.
Proper length. Homeless Charlie.
well, here's a good one, I'll tell you. He
Yes.
was in ecstasy with a huge smile on his face as his wife moved forward, then backward, then forward and backwards.
Whoa.
It was going on for about 20 minutes. Her heart was pounding. Her face was flushed. Then she moaned, and finally exhausted, she said, "Okay, I can't park the damn car. You do it, you smug jerk."
Back and forth and up and down.
Oh,
Wow.
dear.
I thought that was a steamy novel there.
Yeah, you thought it was going to get sexy there, huh?
Yeah, well, okay. I got a new word for you. It's called, I have to read it. It's called Corona Coaster. Corona Coaster.
Corona coaster.
And it's the ups and downs of the pandemic. One day you're loving life, you're doing workouts, you're baking banana bread and going for long walks. And the next, you're crying, drinking gin for breakfast, and missing people you don't even like.
Yeah. Which one was up and which one was down?
Dr. Fatpacker,
Jawohl. Yeah, so.
this is your last one.
Oh, very good. I was waiting for that. I tried to give you a little time there to tell me. So, okay, well, then I was done with the.
I'll tell you what, you can tell two.
I'll tell you what, this one's going to be a little long then. I'll slow it up.
All right.
So, remember the magic lamp. Well,
Yep.
I had friends of mine, a secretary, an administrator, and a manager in a city firm. They walked through the park and on their way to lunch, and they found the lamp and they rubbed it, and the genie comes out and he says, I usually only grant 3 wishes, so I'll give each of you just one. The secretary goes, me first, me first. And he says, okay. She says, I want to be in the Bahamas driving a speedboat without a care in the world. And then poof, she's gone. It was amazing. The administrator jumps up and he goes, me next, me next. Jeez. Says, I want to be in Hawaii, relaxing on the beach with my personal masseuse, an endless supply of pina coladas, and the love of my life. And then poof, he was gone.
Beautiful.
The genie turns to the manager and he says, well, you're next. And the manager says, I want those two back in the office after lunch.
That was my wish. Oh my God. That is terrible. That is shocking. Homeless Charlie, your last one.
Okay,
All right, Shirley.
quickie.
Oh, thank you.
Amal and Juan are identical twins. Amal and Juan.
Yep.
So their mother only carries one photo of them in her purse because
Yeah.
once you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Oh, Dr. Fatpacker, that was a groaner.
That was good.
Oh, that one was probably worth this one.
No, no.
Well, here's my last one, and that is this old guy at the gym is getting instructions from the trainer. And he said to the trainer, look, if God wanted me to touch my toes, trainer, he would have put my toes on my knees. So just remember that. So that's it. We're done. But we have a special feature, and I'm going to announce the first myself, Dr. Fatpacker. We're going to invite a famous person, and this time it's the wonderful author, Irma Bombeck is going to be invited to be on our next.
Yeah, she's very funny, but wait a minute. I think she died like in 1996.
She's
Yeah,
dead?
she's
Yeah,
alive.
like 25 years ago. Where have you been?
Well, in that case, Mr. Bombeck, Irma Bombeck's husband, Mr. Bombeck, you contact us within 24 hours and you can appear on Funny Old Guy's video. But if you don't check in, we're going to put you in the trash can. So that's our story and we're sticking to it. Last thing, subscribe to our videos. We hope you enjoy them. I'm saying goodbye, and I'm going to pass it on to Dr. Fatpacker for his goodbye.
Well, auf Wiedersehen, everybody. We'll be seeing you soon on a station near you.
Exactly. And Homeless Charlie, say goodbye to our adoring, growing crowds.
Hey, goodbye to our adoring,
Growing,
growing, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
goodbye.
What's the last part?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Everybody say goodbye.
So
Wave goodbye, and we'll see you
long.
guys soon.